Hi everyone, right, this is a property that's recently become empty. The tenant's just left and the landlord, who owns a couple of other properties around the area, has asked me to do an EICR. Now, he is aware of some other electrical issues that are ongoing that have been happening while the tenant was in place and while they were living here and stuff. So there will be some electrical issues regardless of whatever I find on the EICR. So we're going to have a look around and see what we can find. To start at the actual front door, stairs going straight upstairs. Talking about something completely obvious. Stairs at the door go straight up, and there's just 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom up there. In here, there is a living room with a surface mounted socket there, a double there, single there, a pendant, and the programmer for the boiler. This is the dining kitchen area. In here we've got double socket down there, pendant, a fluorescent up here. That apparently was what was feeding the washing machine. So yeah, they've done the old put a hole through the worktop trick and put the plug on afterwards, and yeah, that's a bit ropey, but hey. So over here we've got a feed, potentially I think that's to the boiler, but I'm not sure yet. MK box, MK cooker, isolator full of food. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Another double socket. Yeah, pretty small in here, so we'll have a bit of a march upstairs, see what's going on there. I just noticed these things in the stairs ceiling. There's like a false ceiling in the stairs socket at the top of the stairs. These lights look like a bit of a DIY job. There's a perspex screen there. I think that's what obviously fell out of here, but yeah, it's definitely something DIY. You can see how false it is. They used to do this for, if you think of all that space in there, I'll just throw the camera in there a sec. Look down there, you can see all that space. Well, they regarded that as dead heating space. All the air would stay up there. So they just board it all off. And the air would just, it's just staying within the building there, rather than getting trapped up there. Kind of problems with these lights here, not sure yet. Quick inspection. Definitely DIY-ish, if you ask me. So up here, light switch, obviously bathroom there. That's the only electric point in here. No fan or anything. Back bedroom, switch, couple of sockets, boiler, the RF receiver there, and obviously the feed to the boiler. And a pendant. Again, same in here, basic, just a couple of sockets, pendant, nothing around the corner. Just a mirror. You don't really need to see me. Old airing cupboard, right, so this is maybe, I think that's that switch that was in the kitchen next to the cooker switch, but we'll figure out, nothing in there. We'll figure out what that's doing, and yeah, see how the boiler's been fed as well, obviously. Smoke alarm up here, I think that's the only one in the building, and it's not interlinked. And the last thing to show, well, just there's an alarm here, but I don't think it's in use. The tenant said they didn't have the code. The owner, the client, said it's not been used for ages, so we'll probably pull that out. Right, now here's the board itself. You can see I've got the power off at the moment. This is why I had Wilex in my mind, because it was just scared the life out of me when I saw it when I came in. Well, at least there's some labelling in place. Bell transformer. So we've got, what have we got? Let's have that's the bell, the cooker, ring main sockets, it says there. An immersion heater, and then lights, and then this one which has been chopped, Look at this. Look at this stuff. You kids won't even know what this stuff is. But yeah, this is what was out and about in the early days before the 80s. Actually, well, it's still out and about now, really, isn't it? Obviously. So yeah, we've got looks like it used to be a storage heater or something in place there, and then yeah, they've had, I think that's the is that the doorbell transformer thing, and then they've had a new meter fitted there, and someone really does not want us to get into that main fuse, do they? We'll see about that. Right, yeah, let's do a bit of testing. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is just pop out all of these fuses, some rewirable fuses. I do lay them all down in order. Just, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory as to what order they come out in a sense, but in case one's a bit overheated or one's maybe a bit loose or something, then I can identify that if I look at the fuse and I look at the fuse carrier, and then I see some burning on the cable or anything like that. You know, for instance, in this situation, I've got two reds. I can kind of maybe work out, oh, that was the fuse that's from that fuse carrier, so there's a bit of heat build up and stuff, and it just, I don't know, it helps identify faults and problems and issues. Should I come across any, just take that front off. There's no means of isolation anywhere else further back here, so luckily there are some plastic covers on the brass terminals on this one. I don't know if you can even see that on the video, but if not, just trust me, they're there. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of testing. Now, I'm not too bothered, although I have a 17th edition generic test sheets results here. I've just kind of gone to the liberty of wrote a few light circuits and stuff like that, and socket, ring main, coker, transformer. I've wrote a few descriptions of circuits and stuff down there. I'm going to put some results in here, but I'm not that bothered about the actual the actual board, the actual fuse box, if you like, because the whole box is getting changed, upgraded, and so I'm not really that bothered about the fact that there's no RCD or anything in place, because like I said, that'll be getting upgraded and updated further down the line. That's part of the job. All I'm really that bothered about is the existing circuits, how they are, the age of them. You can see this green stuff here, this green earth slaving. That kind of dates it, that slaps a date on it, you know, to the kind of 70s and stuff like that, which is when that was there, used a lot of. There's no other dates anywhere else. There's nothing to say. It's been tested by anyone else. There's certainly, the owner said that no electrician that they know of has ever been, you know, anywhere near it in the sense of testing. It's had an alarm fitted on it 20 years ago, but you can see they've just there's a cable running down here behind this door. They've just kind of gone into the bell transformer fuse. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull the earthing conductor out, or unscrew the earthing conductor, and do a little bit of, just get a couple of readings off before we take any circuit results down. So the old tester out here, see what you can see, put it on the right scale. So again, with the earthing conductor completely isolated from the earth terminal inside the fuse box, because we don't want any different parallel to anything. I've already checked for earthing, main bonding to gas and water, and there isn't any. So that's a slight concern, but at least there's no parallel paths going through those service pipes. Right, what have we got here now? So loop. Put the neutral on, put the line on, or the blue on, then the brown on, and then see what's happening. 0.21. Go ahead and write that down. do you think, Doctor? Switch the scale over. And ATT, we don't need an anti-trip. Quite sure what that was. I think that was the smart meter deciding that it's running out of money. Yes, it has done. I've got no power. Well, thanks for doing that while I'm trying to do a PFC. What are we going to do now? Okay guys, so obviously the power's gone off now, so doing any live testing is completely out the window. I spoke to the client, they're going to chase it up and get us some power back on somehow. So for now, let's just, we'll put the live testing on hold and we'll do a bit of dead testing, which is what I'm here for as well. So, right, I'm going to remove all these fuse carriers just to make the whole job a lot easier. I'm not sure the situation with that smart meter down there, like why it would, it had £5 in it 10 minutes ago, well half an hour ago it had £5 in it, but now it's showing 0. I don't know what that means. I don't really quite understand the whole smart meter thing. I haven't got one, and you know, I know a lot of people don't like them and stuff, but and especially when you get a conflict like this, it's a bit of a strange one where it's the tenant who's been paying the bill, but the tenant's gone. So when it runs out, who rings up? I've asked the client to do a phone call and do chases. They've got to go around, ring the tenant, and they've got to say, well, I'm not paying anymore, and I've got to, you know, they're arguing and stuff. At the end of the day, I just need power, but the whole thing can be a bit confusing, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. There's any literature out there to read. Right, we're all ready to do some testing up here with now. Get these, I think this first one's the lighting circuit. Wherever my long nosians have gone. What's going on there? Been folded over about 10 times. I'll unscrew on the neutral bar what I presume is, if it's labelled up right in the corresponding holes, is it? It should be the neutral to the, yeah, that's the neutral to that one. Right. You can get folded out of the way for a minute. And then this should be the CPC for the lights, which it looks like it is. We'll link these over. Of course, I've left the linking over rivers somewhere. So for ease of use for now, I'll just use this crop clip. So guaranteeing you a nice connection there. And we'll go and find some, drop some light fittings. Right, the power's just come back on, so before we do any more, any R1, R2 on this lighting circuit, I'm going to do the PSC. Get it out of the way, get it written on the board, and then we'll see what the situation is. There we are, I've got some dots there that tell me I've got power going on, so that's the PSC 1181, and the PSC is 1239, so obviously 1239 is what I'll be getting written down. write that down, and then we'll go and find some light fittings to pull down. Well, every one of them, to be honest. I'll pull every. Yeah, we might as well have a look at every light fitting. There's only about 6 in the whole house. And there's the van outside the property, absolutely pissing down. You might notice with the van, actually, at the moment it's missing the roof rack, the ladders, the step ladders. There's actually a set of ladders and like three kind of big step ladders. They're off at the moment because because I was using them elsewhere and I needed to get the van in somewhere without a roof rack, so that's why it's looking a little bit naked. But yeah, you can just see this kind of crap I'm having to deal with, like a moat. Come to the dining room light, if you like, the kitchen dining light, one of them, and it's you can see here we've got, what can you see if I put the light on it? We've got all the CPCs have been cut. Can you even see that? There we go. CPC's cut there, it's cut there, and it's cut under there. So someone's changed this light fitting, I'm guessing, at a certain point, and decided for some reason that they're not going to reconnect any of the CPCs together. So not only are they not terminated in the earth termination block there, but that's now also not going to be sending an earth around the rest of the building. So what I'm going to do, a little bit of remedial work, but I'm just going to pull this down and reconnect all these earths, because it'll benefit me in the long run to gaining some form of results. Okay, I've managed to drag the CPCs to the actual earth terminal without causing too much damage. Obviously I've pulled the grey sleeving up there, but hey ho, they're all tight and connected inside there now, so hopefully should be able to get some kind of a reading now. You hold tight, bear with me. Okay, 0.87. So 0.73 on the lounge light. Moving on to the the fluorescent in the kitchen now. I'm going to go up there now and show you what I'm going to test and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you. Look at the size of the thing. Bear in mind this is a tiny little 2 up 2 down house, and look at the size of it. It's got to be like 8 foot. Look at the size of the tube. It's massive. Right, let's have a bit of a look. As usual, when you see these in kitchens and stuff and garages and whatever, yeah, there's never any. I'll put the light on. I think there's never any fire protection when it goes through there. You know, that never happens. And also, you just see a load of this bodge. It's just, I don't know. They've connected it up where? They've connected it up there, which I'll try and test from. But I mean, look at this crap. The wires didn't reach, so they extended it. Or sometimes what happens is the actual fluorescent will come with a cable coming off it, and people will just join into that. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. Right, let's get some readings off this. Right. Obviously swapped round the crop clip for the probe now. Renulled the leads. We're getting 1.3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, rising rapidly. Steadying 1.43. Tell you what, I'm just gonna. I know there's a load of nonsense going on in here. I know all that taped up crap here is probably giving me a bit of grief, but I just give the old switch a bit of a whack just to see what that does to any 0.32. So again, we're getting probably contact resistance on the switch there or something. Don't mind the neighbour coughing his lungs up. Due to the kind of light fitting this is, I'm going to disconnect it from the disconnect the cables from the actual fitting here, and that's the equivalent to undoing any loads that would be on the circuit. So as I go down the procedure for testing, when I come up to insulation resistance, I'm not going to meet any nonsense going on with the actual fitting itself. Plus, I do want to try and test between both live conductors, because obviously if there's any issues I want to find out before I put any boards on, new boards, or before I do any more like additional work adding on to lighting circuits or anything like that. So I'm going to disconnect this crap going on here, and yeah, I might have to do maybe a little bit of just to run a new tiny little piece of cable back in for when before I leave. All right. Oh, the sun's coming out, that's good. Right, one thing, the back bedroom now. We're getting a reading. You can see, 1.39. We're getting a reading, but I have also noticed there is a CPC missing here. So that could be going that way. Sorry, that way to the front bedroom. So I'm going to reconnect that, and just while I'm here, go and quickly retest the front bedroom pendant. Right, back in the front bedroom now, and as suspected, we've connected up in the back bedroom, connect up down here, and we are getting a reading down here. Right, so this is the bathroom light fitting, that ball thing there, and some tape that I pulled off, and a bulb that lights up, a lamp that lights, a bulb light, a light lamp, whatever, that lights up. You can see there's, if you can see there, there's signs of burning and cracking and all kinds of hell. There's enough CPC exposed on this connection here for me to be able to even fit my crock onto. So I'm going to put the connector straight into there. Let's see what we get down here. 2, slightly falling. Now, one thing you didn't see that I did do off camera was I just wiggled the switch a few times because of the, so fucking that jumped an ohm then. Just because of the contact resistance we're getting on these kind of things, and yeah, certainly if I was going to be doing any major work here or kind of leaving things in situ other than the wires, I'd be definitely changing every switch. So I've got it down to 1.93 there. ISO 192, that's what I'm going to put down. Anything else is just built up in the resistance of the accessories. What the hell is going on up there? Right, yeah, I'll try and rebuild this and make it a bit safer. And that's the R1, R2 and the lights done and dealt with. Started screwing this fitting back up, this light fitting in the bathroom, and you can see the overheating effects it has on light fittings. I mean, it's just crumbled to dust almost, it's cracking. So regardless of whatever happens at this property, this light wants changing along with many others. Back at the board now, I've took the crock clip off the CPC in the line for the lights. Put the CPC back at the earth terminal. Both crock clips back on here. We're on insulation resistance, 500 volts scale again. That's 500 volts DC obviously. Try and connect this up to here on the earth terminal, and then it's just a test between line and earth. Can you see that okay? No. And it's going up, it's flying up 600. Is it going to steady out or anything? 700. We'll just leave it flying millions of volts into it. 7, 8, 9. It's going to push over off scale, I think. But we can tap out at that. I'm fine with that. 820. 830. Okay, 830, right, it stopped at 830, so there we are. Again, we'll do between neutral and CPC. Neutral and similar thing now, so it's going up slowly. Okay, it's flying up a bit quicker than it did on the line. It's in the 9s now, and it's 9, 4, 5. What are we going to tap out at? Oh, seems to have got to about 950, then back down. Right, okay. Again, excellent reading for 40-year-old cables, I guess. And then the last one we'll do between line and neutral. There we go. See what kind of reading we got there. Similar things, slowly pushing. 7s, 8s, 9s. So at the, there we go, off scale. So that's even better. That over range basically. So that's the insulation resistance done on the lighting circuit. Next up, I'm going to look at some other circuits. I'm not sure which one I'll put in the video, but I'm going to carry on with some other circuits, and as and when I see fit, I'll bring the camera over and show you a few bits and pieces and stuff. Definitely can't wait to see what's going on behind that cooker. Remember these old MK fittings that they had? That's when MK really were worth their weight or whatever in quality and stuff. And how old is this? How old do you reckon that is? Like 30 years old, 40 years old, 70s? Got to be late 70s and early 80s or something. Still going-ish, although obviously it's got no load on it at the moment. Right, we're on the immersion heater. I don't think, is this immersion heater? I don't know. There's no telling where this is coming from, but it looks immersion heater-ish. Get a reading there. And there is a switch in the kitchen, so I'll just whiz downstairs and turn that on. Ah! 0.51, 0.549, 0.48. Do a quick insulation resistance test on that same immersion heater circuit. So line and neutral together there, one crock clip connected to earth terminal there. Yeah, and then bingo. Right, now we're going to use a bit of ring continuity on the only ring in the building, really, on the socket circuit. So crock clips it is, continuity. Let's cancel that null, because anything that there was null bit previous doesn't really matter, because we've had probes in and stuff. So we'll cancel that null and re-null the leads, like so. I don't know, I hope the shadow's not in the way for you, but I put a light on the board, that's all, so you can see a bit clearer. Can you see the results and stuff? No. That's probably better. So yeah, null that. And then we're ready to pull some circuits out. So yeah, didn't think so. Didn't think it'd be quite that easy. Everything's doubled over and folded over. Oh, and twisted together as well. Twisted together and doubled over, so I'll just move that one out of the way, get the access to the neutral ring, or the little R2s, which we're going to be using. Came out okay. Do you feel a little bit safer knowing that these guards are on? The plastic guards over the brass terminals there. Right, where's the CPC? There they are. They're actually all in order there. So I mean, again, in the old days, I know it's like we compare a lot of old stuff now to, you know, we call it ropey or not to current standards and stuff like that, which it obviously isn't. But a lot of the way the workmanship was and the quality, you don't find a lot of that nowadays. I mean, if you get, you can't imagine some of the sockets, switches, accessories, and kind of equipment that we're fitting nowadays. Not a lot of that's still going to be here in 40 years. Jesus, a lot of the buildings they build nowadays aren't going to be here in 40 years. The kind of cheap crap buildings that they just throw up. 1 minute it's a building site and the next morning there's someone living in it. I'll undo these and yeah, I'm just trying to determine which is which there. Right, first up, Mr. Redface. You're going first. Fingers crossed. My goodness. 0.25. 0.24. Blackface. Probably shouldn't say that. Neutral face. There you go. 0.24. And then we've got the green face. CPCs. Wow. 0.32. An actual full house. Can you believe that? A full house. Right, we'll do a bit of R1, R2 now. Okay. I should have really wrote those readings down on the pen. So if you remember what the ring readings were, 0.24, 0.34 for the little R1 and little R2. So I've cross-connected down at the board there, put the plug top in, nulled it, ready to go. I'm going to go look round, and with the calculation we'll be looking at around 0.15. I already know there's a couple of spurs in here, so I expect those readings to be a lot higher. Right, so for what it is, it's a tiny, small enough house, a couple of sockets in each room. I'm just going to run around, plug them in, leave the camera there, and we'll speed it up a little bit. Right, okay, yeah, pretty much all of them are reading the same. The highest I was getting in one sense was about 0.17, 0.18. The spur, I've got a spur on the wall over there for the TV. I'm getting 0.48 for that, so we'll do a bit of have a look behind where it's spurred off from and see what's going on there. I do happen to know the tenant fitted it, so who knows. Right, yeah, a bit more testing. Right guys, I don't know if you can see the screen or anything up here, but we're getting pretty much of an issue between live conductors to earth on insulation resistance on the socket circuit. I'll just ping that again for you now. It's floating around 0.54, then coming back down to 0.18, and the machine itself making quite a noise. I'm going to go and do a bit of surveying and have a look about, see if I can see anything suspicious. Not that I expect to see anything, because I've already done a bit of a walk round. So yeah, all loads unplugged. But I'm going to have a bit of a walk round anyway before I commit that reading to the test sheet. I couldn't find anything on the I couldn't find any issues with the. We found many of issues, but I couldn't find any obvious problems with this. So further testing is going to be required for that fault on the insulation resistance on the socket circuit. Right now, I'm panned over to the where it's gone to the cooker. I'm going to link them together for the R1R2 for that. Pull these off. Shove this on. Better get it out of the insulation scale, put it in there. clear the null as usual with the aid of the Leatherman knife. We will null this plug top. Go over to the cooker and get the hour and 2 reading for that. We should be able to get that straight in the socket outlet. Right, so regard this cooker outlet here, you can see that's where a cooker has been, certainly, well maybe even that cooker. That's where a cooker goes, or it did do. This is the outlet. This was doing the old immersion here in the airing cupboard upstairs, which I had to switch on to get the R1R2 reading. Remember I had a little neon inside there. Now, there's no neons with this one or anything like that. I have had the front off this just to have a brief quick look to see if there's any hell behind there. As you can see, I had to cut it with a knife and stuff like that. So I plugged that in. Turn it on 0.07. Okay. We'll do an insulation resistance test on it. Again, it's going. It is going because it's going to be changed, because I believe the cooker position itself is going to be moved. So, I just want to check the cables while I'm here. That's all. And obviously, we've got all this palaver to put back. Can you even see that screen there? Don't know why I've got the head torch on still. It just stays on. I still don't need it at the moment. But right, we're going to do an IR test on that cooker circuit now. If the clock clip will play ball on this terminal. Can you see? Yeah. 500 between. We'll just do them individually for what it is. We'll do 500 between line and earth. 999. I can just move this guy. Just caused even more problems there. 999. Neutral earth. 999. And then finally we'll do between line and neutral. Come on. Push. Push. "40 years of crap." Push through that 900 mark. Nope. 888. 890 we've got there. Alright, we'll tap out at that all day. That's fine. That's more than enough. Right, I'm going to go ahead and tidy all this stuff up. A couple of things to explain. These 4 circuits, we've got lights, immersion, sockets and cooker. These 2 circuits, one's the doorbell. Right, where's the thing? Right, one's the doorbell, and in the same fuse is a different circuit, which is the alarm. Both these are getting pulled out. I'm not even going to test them. I'm going to pull them out now, snip them and just leave them in there, connect them up to the air terminal or something. I'll leave them, and when I change the board, we'll pull them out properly, then take them off the walls and stuff. Issues regarding the test, obviously there's loads of issues if you want to start talking codes and C1, 2 and 3s and stuff, but the major issue is in the event of a new board being put in, there is a problem on the socket circuit. That's one issue to speak to the client about. And then obviously there's other things, earth bonding to the gas, stuff like that. I'm going to put this back together now, and obviously before I power anything back up, I'll go and rebuild the lights and stuff and a few sockets that fell off. Reconnect the boiler. Alright. Right, that's that job done and up to speed. So I spoke to the client. They're more than happy with me to get on with the works which I discussed with you guys about. So we're going to put some additional socket circuits in there, change the light fittings and switches and stuff throughout, put a IP rated LED light fitting in the bathroom. Also bits and pieces like what would come up, like no gas bonding, for instance, like no bonding to the water and stuff like that. We're going to dig around a bit in the kitchen and see what that flex circuit kind of socket thing was on the where the tiles were. Change that fluorescent, thank God, as well. Move that. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do in the kitchen lights wise, but yeah, we'll definitely take that fluorescent down. Move the cooker isolator. Because of where it is, it's just completely right in the middle of the road. Move that. The old immersion heater, it's a circuit there. It's serving 2 points, I guess. If we're going to utilise it, we will do. If not, I'll just pull it out and chop it in the wall and cut it and just not introduce it into the new board. Speaking of the new board, there's obviously a new board going on there. Anything else? I mean, the client's quite a good guy. He just lets me get on with it. He trusts everything I'm going to say. And I've worked with him in the past and stuff, and he, you know, what I kind of recommend and suggest to him, he'll just go with and stuff. So it's yeah, a bit of a free rein there in terms of getting the installation back up to speed and up to regs and stuff like that. We'll patch plaster certain tiny little bits and pieces, but certainly with it being an empty property, it's always good that you can kind of, you know, like as I've said in the past, kind of throw your tools down and just get on with the job with no miser from other trades and stuff like that. Right guys, as usual, the usual speech I'm going to give you. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.